In today's episode of the One Youth Debate Model, let's talk about the adjudication criteria. What are the metrics with which we judge the debate round in the One Youth model? There are 5 critical elements that we consider in judging the One Youth Debate model, which you must pay attention to as a debater or as a judge, whichever you are. First and most importantly is evidence and the research depth. All right. Number 1, evidence and research depth. And this scores the most points in the One Youth Debate model adjudication criteria. We look at how much depth you bring to the debate, or you brought to the debate. If you're still debating, you bring. If the debate is over, how much depth you brought to the debate. We consider how much you're able to research properly. That's the weight of the substance that you presented in the course of the debate. Second thing we look at is the consistency of your reasoning. Right? A debater may give us 3 arguments, and of the 3 arguments, 2 are disconnected. Now you see that there is no coherence. So we judge your logical coherence in the course of the speech. How did A connect to B, and how did B connect to C, and the flow that way. All right? So we look at the logical coherence in the course of your debate, in the course of your argument. That's number 2. And then number 3, we look at the effectiveness of cross-examination questions and answers. Right? So in the course of the cross-examinations, we are considering the effectiveness of the questions you asked the opposing team and the answers you gave to their own question. Remember, in the cross-examination, each team presents one speaker to engage the other team in the course of cross-examination for 2 minutes. You remember that? Now, during that, you're going to ask the other team a question or set of questions, all right? Importantly, in the course of cross-examination, the last time I told you, stick to close-ended questions, because you have just 2 minutes to meet up with your cross-examinations, during which you will reveal the flaws in the argument and the evidence that the opposing team has presented. So during the course of this cross-examination, we're looking at how effective were your questions, all right, to the opposing team, and how effective were your answers to their own questions to your team. That's the third thing we look at in the adjudication rubrics. Then the fourth thing we look at, importantly, is the persuasiveness of your closing statement. Remember, you have 4 minutes to give a closing statement for your team. Now we look at how persuasive was your closing statement. You've spoken for 5 minutes in your opening statement. You've had cross-examination. The judge has introduced the plot twist in 2 minutes. Now, having combined these factors, we're looking at, within the 4 minutes, you convincing the judges and convincing the room entirely. So we're looking at the persuasiveness of your closing statement in 4 minutes. And then lastly, we consider your fidelity to the role assigned. All right? So how fidel were you to the assigned role in the course of the debate? If, let's say, we have a debate on, let's use the one we do in primary school, fathers are better than mothers. All right? Now, if we are debating about fathers being better than mothers, and then you're to debate in favor of fathers, we do not expect that along the lines you begin to shoot yourself on the foot and start supporting the mothers. That is infidelity to your role. So we expect you to stick to the role assigned to you in the course of the debate and argue not just for your team but for yourself as a speaker. Remember, very importantly, the first 3 rubrics we use to adjudicate serves for the team, but for the last 2 rubrics, all right, we consider fidelity of the role for each individual speaker, 20 points. We consider the persuasiveness of your closing statement, 20 points. We consider the effectiveness of your cross-examination, 20 points. And we consider the consistency of your reasoning, 20 points. And then the evidence and research depth, we score that 40 points, making it a total of 100 points for each debate round. We expect that you do not just bring substance to the debate. We expect that you bring logic, you bring source, and you bring solutions that will better the African community. Thank you, and God bless you.